Hi, everybody, community of Forefront, this sentence, and today we talk about guerrilla, what what guerrilla means, and why I tell guerrilla, actually why I use guerrilla, and many questions about that. So, for starting, a little bit of guerrilla in the history. So, for me specifically, I take guerrilla because it's used for communism to present to the president uh, and the laws about what happened with the country and political things there, right? So these people use it, um, posters and billboards, use it, newspaper, uh, like a part of the revolution. So for that, uh, the persons starting see the revolution like movement of art too. So that's two parts related, like politics and art in one poster. So that's the reason because I love guerrilla actually, and I love that because my art given given to the people a little bit of uh, make sense, like this common sense is the word, because not too much people understand what happened with the brown people, so or black people or Chinese people or whatever other people know white. So this is the reason because I take this movement in particular, the Black Panthers. Actually, this is the book of Emory Douglas. Emory Douglas is the person who do every drawing to the Black people, the Black Panther newspaper. So with that, we can take examples about that. Like this one. You know, this comes in the newspaper. So the people starting to understand what is the struggle actually, and again put political things in middle of the war. At that moment in USA is very strong what Emory and the movement do it. We can see stuff like this, and if you know obey now you can relation the red and the black and use the white actually, right? So that colors comes from China. Actually, China and Japan use that colors for the posters and the art traditional for that people. So the black people take it too, and this uh, these are principal page of the Black Panther newspaper. So the people go to the bodegas and actually stay in the corner and giving to the people, kids, this newspaper, and you can see the drawings like this a pork right there with the gangs comes from the war, return to the country. Actually, here fighting in middle of that, like a pork. Emory Douglas included that subtitle of police, porks. He is the first person used it to call a police a pork. Okay, so with that we can understand what's going on with the politicals and the art at the same time. So that makes for me make the guerrilla. The guerrilla uses the political things to moving to a conceptual art. They are traditional, like the artists only paint like passion and try to don't say anything about the the circumstance about some countries, but some artists take a chance at and talking about that, So for me, it's pretty important. Emory Douglas take time to do that important message to me and to much people I love around the globe, right? So uh, something like this one. So means in revolution, one wins or one dies. So that's the concept of the guerrilla. So the graffiti artists take it in in 90s because the graffiti writers only write his names um, in in the trains and tunnels or in the street too, right? In middle of the 60s or starting in 80s. The boom is in 80s, okay? But in 90s, some artists like Obey, Bansi, uh, I don't know, File, thousands of artists starting process the concept of the revolution of communism or Black Panthers and take that example and starting make his own works, talking about politics or not, okay? Because art is aesthetic, not only a political thing. Okay, for me, the political part of the art is pretty important. So we got an example of this now. Okay, the name of the book is Street Logos for Tristan Manco. Okay, Station, I think so. I don't know, but you can see some obey things. This is from Spain, this Germany, Spain too. Uh, More logo things, like a toaster, a fish, cat. This is a little bit more political. This mambo from France, you know. Uh, Look at that. Look at that one. This like a cholo, right? So that come from a straight political movement of socialism from France, and in the middle of that we got signs. The people doing different kind of signs, starting doing different, completely different to the graffiti, right? So the graffiti bring colorful things and letters and message and other thing characters, but the street art starting with this kind of message, like more like a hieroglyphics, something like that, you know, actually starting do interventions in the in the in the publicity. That's a lot to me, you know. You can see this one. Actually, you can see this one too, right? So the people starting enjoy the city, you know, doing stuff like this. This is a famous chef. This guy's crazy. Or the line here, or take the street. Like the real take the street. For me, it's like graffiti, take the street for sure, but street art is a little bit more smart, right? So with that, we got this kind of different uh, signs, logos, right? So with that, we uh, take this one artist is a pretty special for me because it's strong and political. It's mambo. You can see that. So that piece is amazing. So the photo take a lot value in middle of that, right? To me, it's like it, in if this moment is connected with NFT or Web3, that's amazing because this kind of artists show the art completely different, right? To me. So we take another famous artist, Bust and Fail. This is Bust and take posters, do stencil, do prints, uh, starting starting doing different kind of things, right? To me, makes sense like everything. Floor guy, put the flower in flower guy, right? So the people started using logos and completely different kind of things like pixel fill. This thing is before years to the crypto punks. You can see that. That's amazing. Check it out. So everything comes from the street for me because it's the media to do this different uh, different point of view about the art and the politics, right? Starting with the characters, H and T. Right? Take it the put out the color and doing black and white character only. That's this guy is amazing. So starting mix the haircut, right? Talking about different things, you know. Uh, Space Invader for sure for friends. El Tono and Nuria from Spain, starting with these symbols, completely different, completely different. So my art comes from everything of these guys. Okay, so I recommend this book actually because got incredible artists in there like Jace, right? He's for friends too, from friends. This one is pretty amazing. So with that, we move into more. In the process, we got many bunch of artists, and the name street art come out because we got in that person's like Coast, the old Coast from '97. Okay, this one is amazing. So this guy used the art to speaking completely different. Actually, here we got one Black Panther about obey, right? So he used the photos, he used the concept about that, started talking about different kind of artists, right? So John Faulkner, he's from New York actually, started to doing this one in '77 with the stencils and starting to put that in the street and in panels, you know. Well, we got the only and unique Bansi here, actually, you know. So art changed a lot the game for sure, you know. And actually, at the same time, the art take the street like Miss Bank. This girl is amazing. So she go out and paint these characters for free in the street. That's completely beautiful. So the guerrilla starting put stuff out there, you know, like JR take photos and put it in Israel and Palestine border. So actually, at the same time, Bansi started doing that, right? So bunch of artists like I don't know Barry McGee actually. You know? Barry McGee is one of my inspiration directly because this guy comes from the graffiti, but he moved to the art, contemporary art. Okay, we got Zoom here. This girl doing that in a huge xylography. So and could paint paper, you know, started doing sculpture in the streets like Mark Jenkins. This one is a sculptor in the street. So the people started doing the proof many things on the street. Actually, some people of the NASA started doing things in the street. This obey a classical obey face, right? So we got an example of 2007 in Barcelona about Graffiti Research Lab. Check it out. This is for starting projecting things in the street with that technology. So these people starting using technology, mix it with art, and do street art. So with that, we got something completely beautiful because using the modern techniques to do something more interesting, right? For me, is one of the best projects I see in my life forever because nothing like that bring me that kind of mix, right? At that moment, 2007, I see that at that time, exactly. So for me, it's pretty different see the street. This is the reason because I tell the people I come from to other other moment of the art, right? So the reason particular is this one. I see too much uh, art. I'm a nerd about the art actually. So I get like Barry McGee. This is a maze. This is an exhibition with cars. Inside in the cars got installations. That's crazy. So this kind of artists bring me more um or a different vision about that, about what guerrilla means and what is my option to take the street. Completely different. Okay, so for starting understand what happened exactly with this, graffiti looks like this. This is 80s in New York. Okay, that's the most beautiful thing in the life. Okay, so we got these ones too. Okay, that's graffiti. But in middle of that, um, we got Jean-Michel Basquiat or Seimo, aka Seimo too. Okay, he started doing different things. Maybe you know about Basquiat. Okay, so with that, we're starting. Um, this one is is break my mind, blow my mind actually. Futura, these 80s people, these 80s, these guys come from the future. Okay, so with that, we understand what happened with the street, exactly the difference. Okay, so this is an street artist. The name is Espo, comes from New York. So you see the difference. These people try to tell something, and the other people got angry, get too much uh, fever of graffiti. Like I need paint trains. I do a lot bombing. I need paint everything in my life. So with that, in 90s we got samples like Zoom. Okay, completely different. This person tried to do not only paint, okay, like switch the idea to paint only on the street, like do intervention. Actually, she do this project illegally to do both with the parts and create this crazy boats. Actually, create parties too, floating on the street, in the sea. Pardon, sorry. So that this kind of project give me another flavor to me, right? When you see something like that, you understand it's not only that, right? It's not only art, it's not only the street. Give me another things. Okay? So with that, 1 second. Okay. The reason because I'm talking about Barry McGee. This guy, the name is Twist. Uh, is this? He started doing this in 90s early this kind of war in San Francisco. So this guy choose a character to start doing his name. So switch that and don't put his name, put different kind of things actually, or faces too. You see that? Okay. So this guy is sparring me completely, doing intervention in the street, like this one, like this one too. Graffiti, classical graffiti. Okay. This book is about the exhibition Art in the Street in Mocha of Los Angeles. I don't remember exactly the year, but it's come from 2011. Okay, so this is all my creation background. The books called I take these books when I'm starting to create something new, like a new project, like new experience, or if when you see a lot of art, your version or your vision of art change. Okay, when you start to understand what happened and try to find all the ways the people use it to do art, and you need jump out this box to understand and doing another thing. Okay, so with that I starting understand what happened with my own projects. Okay, in particular Caras Latinas, because this project is particular different for me, because moving to the Web3 and try to do guerrilla in Web3. So with that, we are starting to use it, the new medias, to do something completely new, right? But at the same time, we started moving the Web3 outside of the internet. So we got a video to show you what's going on, like a tutorial to show you how you can help my project with a guerrilla. We put, the next week, we put in a drive the posters to you can print it in your own house and go out in the street and enjoy.
Hola comunidad del Forefront, hoy les voy a enseñar a hacer un poco de guerrilla. Dentro de ello vamos a ver dos herramientas importantísimas que son el Paste Tab y el Stencil. Mediante el Paste Tab vamos a utilizar elementos que se puedan comprar y mediante agua vamos a disolver un poco ese elemento para luego poder tener una buena experiencia pegando en la calle. Primero vamos a disolver la goma en agua en este balde con una brocha, vamos dándole vuelta hasta que tome un punto de hilo. ¿Qué quiere decir eso? Que la goma hace un punto seguido cuando levantas la brocha. Lo que chorrea no está aguado ni muy espeso. Con eso estamos listos para salir a la calle. A mí me gusta pegar este tipo de cosas en la calle de día, porque la gente no lo toma mal y simplemente se lo come. Así que vamos a la calle. Bueno, hemos encontrado esta pared, así que vamos a meterle rápido. Estamos en una avenida muy transitada en Lima, Perú. Estamos en la avenida Ricardo Palma, cruce con vía expresa. Así que utilizamos la brocha para poner la goma en la pared y luego procedemos a poner los pósters. Siempre vale estar acompañado porque es un proceso un poco difícil para uno solo, a menos que ya tengas experiencia haciendo esto. Entonces ustedes van a poder imprimir sus pósters que vamos a dejar en la descripción mediante un drive para que ustedes puedan imprimir y hacer la guerrilla que más les agrade. Bueno, una vez ya pegado el póster, procedemos a tomar la foto y nos vamos. Luego ya pasaremos más tarde a ver si sigue ahí, y eso es lo que nos queda con el paste up. Bueno, y ahora vamos a hacer el stencil. El stencil nos sirve de guía. Vamos a dibujar la cara que estamos viendo, la azul, y vamos a tratar de copiarla. ¿Qué vamos a hacer? Primero vamos a hacer la línea negra, que es el supuesto trazo, los ojos, nariz, boca y el borde general de todo, ¿no? Entonces procedemos a las herramientas para utilizar en este procedimiento del stencil. Son las cuchillas o cutters, como quieran llamarles, y la cartulina. Luego tienen que tener un spray a la mano para hacer el background o el fondo. ¿Ok? Entonces procedemos a cortar. Primero a dibujar la línea negra. Les recomiendo comenzar con un lápiz y luego marcar con un plumón indeleble grueso para seguir esa línea, que es lo que vamos a hacer a continuación. Luego de eso pasamos a cortar con la cuchilla cúter. Estoy utilizando una cuchilla cualquiera y una especial marca Olfa, la cual nos ayuda bastante con los detalles. Procedemos a cortar. Mientras vamos cortando, preparamos y estiramos la otra cartulina que nos va a ayudar a hacer el fondo. Bueno, una vez que está cortado el elemento, vamos a proceder a pintarlo sobre la cartulina blanca para cortar el fondo. Entonces lo pintamos con spray y luego procedemos a meterle un poco de mano con la otra cuchilla. Este paso es el más sencillo porque lo único que hacemos es hacer un hueco gigante, el cual nos va a dar la posibilidad de hacer dos colores. Bueno, nos vamos a la calle a pintar estos esténciles ya listos y recién hechos. Bueno, encontramos este lugar, está cerca del taller, así que a darle. Tengan en cuenta que yo estoy haciendo esto de día, sin previo aviso, sin permiso, es totalmente ilegal, es guerrilla. En la calle puedes encontrarte distintas cosas como esta caja que también sirve. Se comienzan a convertir en espacios pintables absolutamente todo, ¿no? Hasta un poste, como podrán ver. Bueno, vamos a hacer una última para que se den cuenta de la diversidad de cosas que se pueden hacer con el stencil, con dos colores de fondo y el trazo. Bueno, aquí tienen. Ahora presten atención que vamos a hablar sobre la guerrilla y cómo esa guerrilla me ha inspirado a mí. Gracias, hasta luego.
I hope so you enjoy the tutorial and you can use it. So with that, I got some questions, right? Like, how is an intervention of guerrilla? Of what type? So we got different kind of types to to do guerrilla. So I choose posters, stickers, and stencil, and actually the regular graffiti, right? So with that we can take the street out, but in the Web3 the game is completely different. So we starting with some animations. We starting with the next week we get the what's it called, the emojis. We're starting with emojis. So we do memes too. So we're starting to move a little bit in Discord and Twitter too. Okay. Uh, what is the politics about my work? So my work means talking about the brown people. The brown people get a lot of problems for be immigrants in USA. And not only that, because the racism is completely crazy. Actually, the Americans talk about Latino Americans like Mexicans. And if these people don't understand or don't know nothing about that, Mexico is a country, and live in Peru, it's another country for complete. Actually, this North America got Canada, later United States, Mexico, Guatemala, Nicaragua, Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Panama, and that's it, I think so. Later, we got South America. South America is uh, Chile, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Ecuador, Colombia, Venezuela, and Peru. So this is America, okay? So all of this is America, and means about talking about brown people is about all the Mexican or Latino people, okay? So these people got problems like black people. Actually, the black people be racist with brown people too. So we got different kind of racism around, okay? So that's my way to try to talking to these people and try to tell, yo, be proud about be Latin, right? Be Latino. Okay. So about Web3, I'm trying to play with memes, with emojis, with animations to try to speak at and try to tell the people what's the problem with brown people, okay, or Latinos people about what's going on. Try to do some memes too, and take the the memes for the regular memes and put the sticker on it and put it in Discord or Instagram, Twitter. Like change a little bit the game. It's not is like these persons try to do viral thing in Web3. Okay, and try to be provocative with this because is is interesting when the people understand what's going on with a Latino artist, try to represent the Latino idea. Okay, it's not nationalism. It's like be myself only, you know. And my influence, political and artist, is comes from Barry McGee, Os Gêmeos from Brazil, Seimo or Jean-Michel Basquiat, Kid Haring, Futura, bunch of artists inspiring me. And actually, the best one is Emory Douglas, who the artist for Black Panthers. So this one take me very in very strong way my guerrilla part, okay? Because he inspired me and tell me like, yo, we these people do a movement, and every person in the world knows Black Panthers about that success for sure. But not only that, it's like artists too, like the art come together with the political things in a newspaper. That's important to me. Okay, so the problem is to move guerrilla into the Web3 is completely different. I can jump into the metaverse and paint a graffiti in whatever building. Mm, Not yet, and try it, but I need a different kind of uh, uh, I don't know, different kind of persons to help me to do a code, forgive me a spray can and later can paint on the street. So this is one of the things I'm trying to do in the next week, by the Oculus and playing Graffiti King is a video game to do graffiti in the metaverse. So that is the most closer intervention in a Web3, or metaverse too. The difference with the public space or Web3 for sure is uh, I can go in and do bombing, right? But we create something like that, like with the memes, with the using the emojis, try to put emojis in Twitter and Discord too, for the people can use it, like every Latino people can use it, or whatever person can use it, and support the project actually. Um, this is more like the idea of the guerrilla means to me. It's completely important to understand and to be uh, pretty constant with that actually. So we're starting now and don't stop. We try to take the street and actually try to trade uh, the Web3. You know, with these residents, we understand too much about what's going on with this. What's the possibilities. We starting to understand what happened in Web3 with the bombing or with the guerrilla or with the graffiti in middle of the metaverse, right? So we now start improving this next week, uh, what's going on with the possibilities about that, and try to understand what's going on with the how we can switch, the situation in the street to the metaverse and the Web3. How we create that thing. Because for me, um, try to be more interesting things, bring to interesting things into the Web3. So that's all for me. If you got a question, tell me. Is the moment. I talking too much today. Everything is good. So that's guerrilla for me. Guerrilla is part of my life, and cause I, I don't I get bunch of racism in my life here in Peru, in other countries too. So I feel my life like try to put this statement in the world, like the people understand what happened and try to don't doing that. And actually, when you put on in the television and see the news, that shit's not happen, right? Cause these murders kill black people or Latino people in USA, and no matter what, right? And don't receive anything about that. Like the police don't do nothing, and so for me, that's political. That's completely political. It's 2020, and these things still still happen. So that shit's worse. I'm tired of see that in the television. Why the people can be free? Why? Why the people make this kind of choice? This is the reason because I take my own statement and put a flag with that around the globe. I not try to do only my project and that's it. No, I try to teach the people, understand what happened with the other people, why the people try to be more get more compassion about other peoples, and understand what's going on with the struggle life of the other peoples, right? So that's my point of view. So for me, this this is the day what I talk about guerrilla and what is um my political position about that. It's not only to try to be viral or to try to be a millionaire with NFTs. No, it's not about that. It's like I take the Web3 because for me it's another media to try to teach people, uh, be proud about be Latino. Okay, be proud about come from whatever part of Latin America, right? This guerrilla to me, guerrilla is my life. Is not only a art movement. It's like what I do for my life, uh, for teach another people what's going on with my problems. In the end, this the most political thing in arts. You know, try to teach the people what is my problem in middle of the society. So I hope so. You enjoy this 1 hour talking about guerrilla. Remember, we got these important books art in the streets first. This one is beautiful too. We're talking about this one, but it's about photos of Black Panthers. It's completely beautiful. It's strong. Okay. This one is street art. Okay. This one is street logos. And this one is Black Panthers, the revolutionary art of Emory Douglas. This is one of the best. I recommend this one for sure. It's a good book. Okay. In my art, I only know use these ones. For my art, I'm using this different completely, but talking about brown people. This is one Camilo Blas. Actually, we use this one Dandelion. This is talking about these persons. It's not hipster, it's like dandy. Dandy is the name. Okay? All African American people. This one is huge, but it's beautiful. Sabogal is one of the best too, talking about the indigenous people and the brown people too. Okay. And this one is beautiful. The collection of Costumbrismo. This the artist is Pancho Fierro, this Peruvian artist too. And for sure, we got Diego Rivera, the muralism from communism in Mexico. So that's all my inspiration books, and actually we got another more important books like Obey Mad Day, to understand what happened with the guerrilla and how we can start in doing stuff like this. What the people doing on the street, right? These examples is completely beautiful. Stuff like this, like very strong, the colorful and and give me the other vision about my art, give me a completely different version of what's going on with my art and actually my idea about that, and try to moving out of the box, because art is not only a good painter or I can copy this exactly like that in realism. No, that's no art. The art get a message. If you don't get message, you only do an illustration. So this the reason of why so many persons can be artists, because these people doing illustration. That's completely different and get another value for sure. It's important too. It's aesthetic too, but don't tell me nothing. When these people don't tell me nothing, from his hair, and it's not necessary for his hair. No, I can understand what's going on with the art. So thank you very much. For real, it's a different different day, talking about guerrilla. Thank you very much, community.